Show. Hello everyone, welcome to CUCET Academy. Jest 2024 PIQ solution series का a second part है. Okay, in this part we are discuss question number 8 to question number 14. I mean total 7 questions in details. Okay, in the previous lectures, I mean in the part 1 we had discussed question number 1 to question number 7 in details, and that video was uploaded in my channels. If anyone till now seen that videos, please go and watch these videos and then come to here and then again enjoy the part 2 part. Okay, so hello everyone, and myself Mithun Patra. I am the PhD scholar at NISER Bhubaneswar at Earth and Planetary Science Department. I am actually working in exoplanetary science, mainly in exoplanet formations and its atmospheric studies. Okay, let's start our first questions in part 2, that is in question number 8. What is the questions actually? In a cylindrical rigid block has principal moment of inertia I about the symmetric axis and 2I about each of the perpendicular axes passing through the center of mass. At some instant, the component of angular momentum about the center of mass in the body fixed principal axis frame is equals to L, with L is greater than 0. What is the cosine of the angle between the angular momentum, that is equals to L vector, and the angular velocity, that is actually omega vectors. So here moment of inertia about symmetric axis is equals to I. Moment of inertia about perpendicular axis, it means perpendicular axis of symmetric axis. If we consider symmetric axis is z axis, then the perpendicular axis are x and y axis. So moment of inertia about z axis is equals to I. Moment of inertia about x axis and y axis are actually 2I. Okay, that is, and the angular momentum in the fixed body principal axis is equals to L. It means Lx equals to L, Lx equals to L, Ly equals to L, and Ly equals to L. That's are actually mentioned in the questions. Actually, they asked what is the cosine angle. They asked actually what is the value of cos theta. What is the value of cos theta? It means they ask L dot omega magnitude of L into magnitude of omega vectors. They ask what is the value of this. So from these questions we have a relations between the angular momentum and angular velocity is equals to L vector equals to I omega, where R is the moment of inertia tensor. Okay, here given, actually in the question is given I about the symmetric axis, I mean z axis is equals to I, and about the perpendicular axis x axis and y axis the moment of inertia is equals to 2I. Okay, it means Iz is equals to I and Ix equals to 2I and Iy equals to 2I. That's 2 are actually mentioned in the questions. Now the component of angular momentum from these equations, Lx equals to 2I omega x, Ly equals to 2I omega y, Lz equals to 2 I omega z actually. Again from this question, the angular momentum component as given as in the questions, Lx equals to L, Ly equals to L, and Lz equals to also L. These are actually mentioned in the questions. Now from this angular velocity component, now solve angular velocity component. Okay, so as you know, Lx equals to 2I omega x. From these equations, omega x equals to L upon 2I. Similarly, omega y equals to L upon 2I, and omega z equals to L upon I. So these are the angular velocity. These are the angular velocity. Okay, now we will calculate the magnitude of angular momentum and angular velocity. So we know the magnitude of angular momentum is equals to root under Lx square plus Ly square plus Lz square, and all the value is equals to I. So magnitude of angular momentum is equals to root under 3 by L. Okay, root under 3 by L. Similarly, we calculate the magnitude of angular velocity. So that is equals to omega x square plus omega root under omega x square plus omega y square plus omega z square, and let's substitute this value of omega x, omega y and omega z, and then we finally get its result. Magnitude of angular velocity is equals to root 3 by 2 root under 3 by 2 L upon I. So we get magnitude of angular momentum and angular velocity. Now compute the vector product of angular momentum and angular velocity, that is equals to Lx omega x Ly omega y plus Lz omega z. Lx equals to L, omega equals to L upon 2I. Substitute, we substitute all the value of Lx, omega x, Ly, omega y, Lz omega z from the previous calculations, and this vector product we get equals to 2L square upon I. Now the cosine angle is equals to, now just substitute those values, and we finally get root 2 upon 2 root 2 upon root 3. So it is very easy question. In Jest examination they asked actually. So this is the very easy questions. So if so I think you understand what actually asked in this question. What is the cosine angle between the angular momentum and angular velocity? So this is the questions actually. So it's very easy. So I cleared the symmetric axis and the perpendicular axis concept. These two concepts are actually important is here. So if you clear these two concepts, you definitely in very easiest way solve these questions. Okay, so finally we get the solutions of these questions, and we get the answer of this question is option A. Okay, option A. Next we go through question number 9. What actually asked in question number 9? Consider a mass-pulley system. As shown in the figure, and the height of the block as measured from the ceiling are x1 and x2 and shown in the figure. What are the constraints between x1 and x2? What are the constraints between x1 and x2? So here we find out the constraint between x1 and x2. So first of all we assume total length of the string here use here, जो string यहाँ पे यूज हो रहा है उसका लेंथ, टोटल लेंथ इज एक्चुअली कैपिटल एल. वी आर एज्यूम दैट. एंड L0 is the length of the segment around the pulley. Okay, length of the segment around the pulley and fixed portions of the string is L0. This is the fixed portion. It is fixed portions. This length obviously fixed. This is always fixed. जो portions actually pulley बराबर है वो always fixed होने वाला है, और total length of the string is always fixed. Okay, so length of the segment around the pulley is equals to L0. X1 is vertical distance from the one block from the ceiling. Yeah, vertical distance from ceiling to one block is equals to x1, and x2 is another vertical distance from the ceiling of this another block. Okay, so now we calculate the total length of this string. Actually split into three parts. First of all, we understand this three part, then we easily calculate the what is the constraints between x1 and x2. Okay, total length of the string is split into three parts. The segment from the ceiling to block 1. First of all, the segment from the ceiling to block 1, that is x1. The segment, that is the segment, first segment ceiling to segment 1, ceiling to block 1. the segment looping around the pulley, the segment around looping the pulley, the segment around looping the pulley, and the segment around looping the pulley, and the segment from the pulley to block 2. So second segment is equals to this part. Sorry, second segment is actually this part, this part, segment 2, segment 2, and third segment, segment from the pulley to block, pulley to block 2. Segment 3. Okay, so total string is actually classified in 3 parts. First one is the segment from ceiling to block 1, ceiling to block 1. Okay, another part is the segment looping around the pulley, the segment looping around the pulley, and third is the segment from the pulley to block 2. Okay, so total length of this string is classified into 3 parts. Okay, now the total length, total string length, we just calculate. Total string length is equals to L naught. What is actually the total length? L naught. L naught is the L naught is the length of the segment around the pulley, and x1 plus x1. Why it is x1 plus x1? Why it is x1 plus x1? Because 2 parts. Because this part is x1, also this part is again x1. For these regions, x1 plus x1 and plus x2 and plus x2. So total length is actually, so first segment from the ceiling to block 1, that is equals to x1 plus x2. The segment looping around the pulley, that is equals to L naught. The segment from the pulley to block 2, that is equals to x2. We are just split this length. So finally we get L equals to L naught plus 2x1 plus x2. So 2x1 plus x2 is equals to L minus L naught, and this is always constant term. So 2x1 plus x2 is equals to constant. So this is the actually constraints between x1 and x2. So you just visualize the concept. This concept is very important to understand. Okay, so actually for this question, for better understand, you split the total length of this string in better way. You just draw in your copy one by one, and you definitely understand the problems in very simple way. Okay, next we go to the question number 10. Question number 10. Let Q and P be the canonical phase space coordinate. Q and P the canonical phase space coordinate of the system, where Q is the generalized coordinate. Okay, Q is the generalized coordinate and P is the generalized momentum. Q is the generalized coordinate, P is the generalized momentum. Okay, let us make a transformation of generalized coordinate. Transformation is given as Q equals to Q square. This is given actually. Okay, generalized coordinate transformation. This is nothing but generalized coordinate transformations. Generalized coordinate transformations. Okay, this is actually given. Which of the following function is canonically conjugate to q? Q is the generalized coordinate. Okay, q is the generalized coordinate transformation. It is generalized coordinate. So which of the following function is canonically conjugate to q? So q के साथ कौन कंजुगेट होने वाला है? क्यू के साथ कंजुगेट जर्नलाइज्ड मोमेंटम ही होगा, है ना. क्यू के साथ अगर कोई कैनोनिकली कंजुगेट होगा वो जर्नलाइज्ड मोमेंटम ही होगा. सो फॉर जर्नलाइज्ड मोमेंटम इफ वी कैलकुलेट द जर्नलाइज्ड मोमेंटम and that value, it's definitely canonically conjugate to capital Q. So our main aim is calculate the canonical momentum transformations. Our main aim is calculations of canonical momentum transformations, because canonical momentum transformations is canonically conjugate with generalized coordinate. Canonical momentum is canonically conjugate with generalized coordinate. ओके, सो कैनोनिकल मोमेंटम जर्नलाइज्ड कोऑर्डिनेट के साथ कैनोनिकली कंजुगेट होने वाला है. सो इफ फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी कैलकुलेट द कैनोनिकल मोमेंटम ट्रांसफॉर्मेशंस. सो दिस इज द फॉर्मूला ऑफ कैनोनिकल मोमेंटम ट्रांसफॉर्मेशंस. P इक्वल्स टू del Q upon del capital Q into P. This is the exact formula of canonical transformations. So first of all, so for here given, so for calculate, we first calculate the del Q upon del Q, del capital small q upon del Q. First of all we calculate this part. Okay, this part. So for these calculations, here the given Q equals to capital Q equals to, this is the generalized coordinate transformations, and differentiate Q with respect to Q, and del d capital Q upon d small q, that is equals to 2Q. Now from chain rules, that is equals to del Q upon del Q equals to 1 upon del capital Q upon del Q, and that value is equals to 1 upon 2Q. Now substitute this value in equation 3. This value is substituted in equation 3, and we get canonical momentum transformations is equals to P upon 2Q. This is the answer. So this canonical momentum transformations is canonically conjugate with Q. Okay, canonically conjugate with capital Q. So for please understand the concept, this concept. Canonical momentum is canonically conjugate with generalized coordinate. Here generalized coordinate is given. They asked Q canonically conjugate with canonical momentum. So we first of all calculate the canonical momentum, and the formula of this canonical momentum is this. Okay, so you remember this, please remember. So remember this. If you remember this, you definitely do the problems. Okay, so from these questions we get option A is the correct answer. Next question number, we go question number 11. A solid sphere of radius r, has a uniform volume charge density. Okay, here given volume charge density, rho equals to rho 0 sine 2 theta. This is the volume charge density is given. How does the leading term in the electrostatics potential depends on the distance r? Far away, that is very very important. far away from the charged sphere. We know for far away distance, we know for far away distance, we know for far away distance r potential depends like that, depends phi of r is inversely proportional to 1 by r if monopole exists, if monopole exists, phi of r proportional to 1 by r square. If dipole exists, monopole is 0, obviously you know. If dipole exists and phi of r is inversely proportional to r cube if quadrupole exists. If quadrupole exists. So quadrupole when exists? When monopole dipole are 0, and when dipole exists, when monopole is exactly 0, and when monopole is not equals to 0, then obviously potential is depends on 1 by r. This is the from monopole expansion concept. This is the concept from monopole expansion. So here volume charge density is given. Okay, volume charge density is given, that is represented 1 by equation 1. So first of all we calculate the monopole. Monopole mean total charge, right? Monopole mean total charge. So total charge is calculated as q equals to integration so rho dv. Here dv equals to, you know, for spherical polar coordinate r square sin theta d theta dr d phi, and rho is obviously means already given is here. So let's substitute this value and just do a simple calculations. Do simple calculation, and we take we separate theta part, phi part and r part, and finally we get these expressions and q not equals to 0. So okay, let's one by one do this. So this is the phi part, this is the theta part, and this is the r part. So from phi part we get 2 pi, and from r square integrations of r square equals to r cube upon 3, and now from these equations we get 4 by 3 pi r cube into rho, and 0 to pi sin theta cos theta sin square theta cos theta d theta. So for simplifying these integrations, we let us take x equals to cos theta, so dx equals to minus sin theta d theta, so sin theta d theta equals to minus dx. Let's substitute this value and we get integration is looks like that, 1 to minus 1 x 1 minus x square whole to the power half dx, and it's have a constant value. It's have a constant value. It's not have a not equals to 0, it's have a constant value. It's not equals to 0, not equals to 0. So here monopole term, it is total charge is not equals to 0. So here total charge is not equals to 0. Okay, so here total charge is not equals to 0. So as monopole term is dominate here, so the potential far away from the sphere is equals to 1 by r. So option B is the correct answer. Okay, next we go to the next questions, that is equals to question number 12, and that is asked from group theory in mathematical physics. Group theory in mathematical physics. Yes, actually group theory in mathematical physics. Okay, let a group G be a discrete group of order 4 where the group operations O among the various element of G, these are the various element, is given by the following multiplication table. So this table is very important for group operations. Okay, so which of the following is the correct answer? Is a non-cyclic abelian, cyclic abelian, cyclic non-abelian, non-cyclic abelian? So actually they ask, just we check G is cyclic or abelian. So we check the G is cyclic and G is abelian. So here we check, what we check, G is cyclic or G is abelian. So for cyclic, what do you do? Here group G consists of these elements. These are the element E, A, B, C, and where E is the actually identity elements. So from the table E multiplications E multiplied with X. From the table E multiplied with X is equals to X, E multiplied with X and X multiplied with E, we get always X. How? You just check from this table E multiplications E, we get A, E multiplications A, we get A, E multiplications B, we get B, E multiplication C, we see. These are the term actually for first row. Just check. Similarly for second, A multiplications with E, we get A. Okay. B multiplication with E, we get B. C multiplied with E, we get C. So from this part, okay. So that's why we mention here E multiplied with X or X multiplied with E, always get X value for all X are belongs to this group. Okay, again from this multiplicating table we get A multiplicating with A, we get A. E, B multiplicating with B, we get E. C multiplicating with C, we get E. Okay, so these are the important result we get actually from this multiplicating table. So check, we now check G is cyclic or non-cyclic. Now we check G is cyclic or non-cyclic. How to check G is cyclic or non-cyclic? How to check? That is statement, a group is cyclic if there exists an element G from this group. From this group, let us consider a group, and there is an element G. There exists an element from this group such that every element of G can be written as a G to the power n for some integer n. इसका मतलब क्या है? मतलब हम लोग देखिए यहाँ पे मान लीजिए यहाँ पे कोई H है और F है, 3 एलिमेंट्स है, ठीक है, इस ग्रुप के अंदर हम लोग इस G को मान लेते हैं. इफ वी टेक G to the power n, then we definitely get H, or G to the power n is definitely get F. Also H to the power n we get G, H to the power n we get F. Also F to the power n we get H. Also F to the power n we also get G. If we get this type of values, n is any value 2, 3, 4, etc. If we take 2, g square equals to h. So एक ग्रुप है, इस ग्रुप पे अंदर 3 एलिमेंट्स है, उस 3 एलिमेंट में से किसी भी एक ग्रुप का स्क्वायर आपको अदर्स 2 एलिमेंट का वैल्यू आपको मिलने वाला है, ठीक है। अगर इस तरह का प्रिंसिपल फॉलो करता है तो इस जी को हम लोग साइक्लिक ग्रुप बोलने वाले हैं, साइक्लिक ग्रुप बोलने वाले। तो देखिए यहाँ पे, देखिए इसमें, देखिए यहाँ पे जो क्वेश्चंस है ना ठीक है, यहाँ पे जो क्वेश्चंस है, ग्रुप का एलिमेंट, ये तो आइडेंटिटी एलिमेंट है, इसको छोड़ दीजिए, ठीक है। ए बी सी को ले लीजिए, ए बी सी को ले लीजिए। तो ए के साथ ए मल्टीप्लाई कीजिए, बी के साथ बी मल्टीप्लाई कीजिए, सी के साथ सी मल्टीप्लाई कीजिए। अगर ए के साथ ए मल्टीप्लाई करने के बाद आपको बी मिलता है, बी के साथ बी मल्टीप्लाई करने के बाद आपको ए और सी में से एक मिल सकता है, सी के साथ सी, इफ मल्टीप्लाई विथ सी एंड सी वी गेट ए और बी, then we definitely call G is the cyclic coordinate. So we follow the multiplication table. A के साथ A मल्टीप्लाई कीजिए, राइट, A के साथ A मल्टीप्लाई कीजिए, क्या मिलने वाला है? A के साथ A मल्टीप्लाई करने से आपको क्या मिल रहा है? यहाँ पे A के साथ A मल्टीप्लाई करने से क्या मिल रहा है आपको? E मिल रहा है। इसका मतलब ए स्क्वायर इक्वल्स टू क्या मिल रहा है? ई मिल रहा है, ई मिल रहा है। ए के साथ ए मल्टीप्लाई करने से आपको बी मिलना चाहिए था, नहीं मिला, ओके। नेक्स्ट बी के साथ बी मल्टीप्लाई करो, बी के साथ बी मल्टीप्लाई करो फ्रॉम दिस टेबल, बी के साथ बी मल्टीप्लाई करो, क्या मिल रहा है? ई मिल रहा है, ई मिल रहा है, मतलब बी स्क्वायर इक्वल्स टू ई मिल रहा है। अगेन फेल हो गया, अगेन देखिए, अगेन देखिए, सी के साथ सी मल्टीप्लाई करो, क्या मिल रहा है? ई मिल रहा है। सो सी के साथ सी मल्टीप्लाई किया, क्या मिला? ई मिला। सो सी स्क्वायर इक्वल्स टू ई। सो मैंने बोला था यहाँ पे, मैंने आई ऑलरेडी मेंशन्स, a group is cyclic if there exists an element G such that every element of G can be written as a G to the power n. Every element of G can be written as a G to the power n. मतलब ए स्क्वायर इक्वल्स टू बी होना चाहिए था, ए स्क्वायर इक्वल्स टू सी होना चाहिए था, बी स्क्वायर इक्वल्स टू ए होना चाहिए था, बी स्क्वायर इक्वल्स टू ए होना चाहिए था, सी स्क्वायर इक्वल्स टू ए होना चाहिए था, सी स्क्वायर इक्वल्स टू बी होना चाहिए था। अगर होता तो उसको साइक्लिक बोलते हैं हम लोग। बस यहाँ पे क्या हो, ए स्क्वायर इक्वल्स टू भी आपको ए ई मिल गया, बी स्क्वायर इक्वल्स टू भी ई मिल गया, सी स्क्वायर इक्वल्स टू भी आपको ई मिल गया। इसका मतलब जी साइक्लिक जो प्रॉपर्टीज़ था, जो साइक्लिक जो प्रॉपर्टीज़ था, साइक्लिक प्रॉपर्टी को फॉलो नहीं किया एक्चुअली, है ना, साइक्लिक प्रॉपर्टी को एक्चुअली यहाँ पे फॉलो नहीं किया। दैट्स वाई सो देयर इज नो एलिमेंट ऑफ ऑल जी, there is no element generate of all G, there is no element generate all of G, so G is non cyclic। so यहाँ पे G non cyclic होने वाला है। so इसका जो मैथमेटिकल एक्सप्लेनेशन है थोड़ा सा हम लोग उसको बोल देते हैं। नाउ एनालाइज द पावर ऑफ ईच एलिमेंट्स, ओके, नाउ एनालाइज द पावर ऑफ ईच एलिमेंट्स फॉर ई ए टू द पावर n इक्वल्स टू ई ऑब्वियसली। सो ई कैन नॉट जनरेट जी फॉर ए के लिए ए मल्टीप्लीकेशन आपको ई मिलने वाला है, दैट इज ए स्क्वायर इक्वल्स टू ई। ऑलरेडी हम लोग मल्टीप्लीकेशन टेबल से डिस्कस किया। हेंस द पावर ऑफ ए, हेंस द पावर ऑफ ए जनरेट ओनली दिस ग्रुप, दिस पावर ऑफ ए जनरेट ओनली दिस ग्रुप ई एंड ए, नॉट ई ए बी सी, सो नॉट द एंटायर ग्रुप जनरेट नहीं किया। Similarly for B, B multiplication with B we get E, that is B square equals to E. Hence the power of B generate only this group, not the entire group, okay. Similarly for C, C multiplied with C we get E, so C square equals to E, So the power of C generate only this group E and C, not the entire group. Entire group means E, A, B, C. ए मिलना चाहिए था, इसके साथ सी के साथ ए भी मिलना चाहिए था, बी भी मिलना चाहिए था, तब जाके हम लोग बोलते हैं इसको साइक्लिक. सो ए ग्रुप इज कॉल्ड साइक्लिक इफ दिस फॉलो दिस एंटायर रूल्स. अगर इस एंटायर रूल को फॉलो करते हैं तो हम लोग इसको साइक्लिक बोलने वाले. सो यहाँ पे मेंशन जी इज नॉट, इज ए नॉन साइक्लिक ग्रुप. ओके, इट्स ए नॉन साइक्लिक ग्रुप. ओके, नेक्स्ट वी चेक एबिलियन. What is the conditions of abelian? What is the conditions of abelian? A group is abelian if x multiplied with y and y multiplied with x are same for all x and y, and x and y are actually from a group. From a group. एक ग्रुप है, इस ग्रुप के अंदर दिस इज द ग्रुप and this group consists of two elements x and y, and we multiplied x multiplied with y and get the same value when y multiplied with x, then this group is called abelian group. Okay, so from the multiplication table a and b, from this multiplication table a and b, okay, we just a, sorry, from this multiplication table a and b we get c value, right? From this multiplication table we get a and b c value. Okay, okay, similarly from this multiplication table b and a we get c value, right? We get c value. Okay, so b and a we get 7, so a multiplied with b equals to b multiplied with e, so it is satisfied. So if a and c or b and c satisfy the same, so we just check here, right? We just check a and c multiplied with a and c. From this multiplication table a and c we get b. Okay, where is the a multiplied with, sorry, c we get b, and c multiplied with a we get b, c multiplied with a we get b. So from this expression a multiplied with c, c multiplied with a, so it's follow the abelian group properties. Okay, in this way, so this is the actual rules for a group is called abelian group. Okay, abelian group. So this is the G is abelian also. So here the mention G is non-cyclic and abelian. Mention G is non-cyclic and abelian. So I just discuss it in clean and clear cut way. So option A is the correct answer. Okay. Next we go through another question. Question number 13. Consider a Fourier transform of a function's f of x is defined as gp equals to minus infinity to plus infinity f of x exponential ipx, and where the function's f of x equals to 1 minus root under mod x. Which of the following is the correct form of gp? Gp means Fourier transform of this. So here the Fourier transform of the functions f of x is defined as like that, minus infinity to plus infinity f of x e to the power ipx, where f of x equals to 1 upon root under mod x. We just substitute this value. Now break these integrations. Okay, now break these integrations. Minus infinity to 0 e to the power ipx minus x whole to the power half plus 0 to infinity e to the power ipx x to the power half dx. Now for put for x less than 0 part, first part, this part, okay, this part, u equals to minus x, no, x equals to minus x, it means actually x equals to minus u, put x equals to minus u, okay, so that is equals to actually dx equals to minus du, okay. And first part, and for second part, where x greater than 0, we put x equals to u and dx equals to du. Just put this. After putting we get e to the power minus ipu. Okay, just take a first integrations. Just take first integrations. Minus infinity to 0 e to the power ipu u to the power half minus du, just so that is equals to minus infinity to 0 e to the power minus ipu u to the power half du, so that is equals to 0 to infinity e to the power minus ipu u to the power half du. And this is the first integration part, and second integration is very easy. This is the as usual. So we get finally 0 to infinity e to the power minus ipu u to the power half du plus 0 to infinity e to the power ipu u to the power half du, okay. And let's take a common, 0 to infinity e to the power ipu plus e to the power minus ipu upon u to the power half. So this is equals to 2 cos pu upon u to the power half. So this is equals to 2 into 0 to infinity cos pu upon u to the power half. This is standard integral. This is nothing but a standard integral. So this integral is a standard transformations yielding a result proportional to p to the power half. Please remember. So 0 to infinity cos pu upon u to the power half du. Let's give you some constant p to the mod p to the power minus half, mod p to the power minus half. So please remember this standard integrations. So actually get 0 to infinity cos pu u to the power half du is proportional to mod p to the power minus half. Actually this is the standard integrations form, so you just remember. So finally we get beta upon, beta is mentioned in the question, so beta upon root under mod p. So finally we get the answer option E, okay. So you please recall this, remember this standard integrations, remember this standard integrations, okay. Remember this standard integrations. Next, question number 14. What is the power of light source? What is the power of light source emitting photons of wavelength 600 nanometer at the rate of 1 photons per second? Okay, actually this light source emitting photons 1 photons per second, okay. Here mentions Planck constant is equals to 6.6 into 10 to the 34 joule second. Speed of light is 3 to 10 to the meter. So for power of light source, what is the power of light source? Energy by time, right? Energy by time. But here energy by time. So if t equals to 1 second, P equals to E. So actually energy of one photon is it exactly energy of one photon is exactly the power of light, right? So you get energy of one photon is equals to power of light source, because one photon emitted per second, right? Power of light source. So it is now, this question is very easy. We just calculate the energy of one photons, right? Energy of one photon E equals to h nu equals to c by lambda. We just substitute it here and put the value of h, 6.626 into 10 to the 34. Sorry. Just take a time. Yeah. E equals to c by lambda. We just substitute here. Put the value of h. This is the value of h. This is the value of c, and this is the value of lambda. And just take a mathematical calculations. 6.6 into 3 upon 600, 10 to the minus 34 plus 8 plus 9, that is equals to 10 to the minus 17, and that is equals to 3.3 into 919. So power of the light source, it means the total energy emitted per second, right? Since the source emitted 1 photons per second, hence the power is equals to energy of 1 photon, and that is equals to 3.3 into 10 to the power minus 19. Okay, so for these questions, options A is the correct answer. Okay, I think for today we discuss all the questions in proper way. If anyone feel any difficulty to understand any concept, please comment in my channels. I give you the proper solutions best way. And those are willing to access this PDFs, those are willing to access my PDFs, so please join with my Telegram channel. Q Physics Academy. Okay, academy, and also follow my Facebook page. Actually, I upload this PDF in this two social media, Q Physics Academy Telegram channels and Q Physics Academy Facebook page. If you follow, if anyone, you definitely get this PDF also. Okay, so for today I complete my lectures. I discuss question 8 to question 14. In next part I will discuss next 7 questions, and in this way I definitely complete the Jest 2024 question series. Okay, and again, thank you for watching this video, and please like and subscribe my channel. Okay.